So far so good. Chapter 7 and 8 is what we are treating this
Bismillah.
very morning. So far so good. Chapter 7 and 8 is what we are getting into, or what we are treating rather, this very morning. Chapter 7 is titled or named Tosei's father. Abu got to Kobankanaka and asked the people whether they knew the father of Toseinka the Sauki. They looked at him as if he were mad. They asked him where he came from, and he answered, Birnin Zauna da Shirinka. He wandered around the town for 7 days, until at last, exhausted, he fell down at the foot of a tree by the gate of the town. He took the charm out of the girdle around his waist and examined it. Certainly, the charm had not been of very much use. He was still studying it when an old man came up, carrying a basket. Abu saw how weak the man looked, and out of sheer pity offered him help. There was no knowing either whether he might not be able to get food from him. So he settled the growling of his stomach. They soon fell into conversation, and the old man asked him where he came from. I am a little mad, Abu confessed. I have come from Birnin Zauna da Shirinka, and was so foolish as not to ask any informer the name of his father, whom I must find. He proceeded to relate what he remembered of his host magic powers. Nothing out of the corner of his eyes that the old man was not uninterested. Now and again he asked persistent questions, saying that he had lost a son, and that for the last 28 years he had not heard from the boy. No one has told me anything of his whereabouts. He paused and then said, The man speak about, what does he look like? This man you speak about, what does he look like? He is tall and black, a big strong man with a pointed nose and a big head. As he gave details after details, the old man's eyes glowed brightly. What did you say was the name of this man? Tausayinka da Sauki. What is the town called? Zauna da Shirinka. And you are a native of Galma? My father. The old man looked confused. I have never heard those names before. Your description of the man fits my son, but these names of yours, I can't understand them. They are fictitious. It is so, Father, I have been foolish not have tried to find out the real names of this man, but that is what they call him. While they were talking, they made their way back to the old man's home. And as Abu Bakr bent down to place the basket on the floor, the charm fell out of his pocket. Ah, he exclaimed, I forgot. Here is a charm that the man gave me. He said that if I showed it to his father, the old man would recognize it. A change came over the face of the old man as he took it and examined it. Tears stood in his eyes, and he muttered thickly, Allah's name be praised. We came you with my heart. Okay, sorry, I welcome you with my heart. He that has seen my son is indeed my son too. He gave Abu Bakr food and clothing, and that night they sat by the fire talking. Where is the brother of your son? Abu asked. I have a message for him. The brother soon appeared, and Abu told him that his brother wanted to see him. My mission here is to collect the sap of a certain tree that your brother has described to me. When I have done that, I shall return to Zonade Shirinka. There need to be no hurry about that. He said, okay, said the old man, you can go soon enough. You have rested, perhaps. When you have rested, perhaps I can take you to the tree myself. Abu relaxed for 2 whole days. Then he became impatient. But now the old man did his best to persuade him to go to the forest. No man I know, he said, has ever gone there and come back alive. I have been in this Kobankanaka for 50 years. And during that time, many people have been to Kurmin Rukuki. Where are they? What happened to them? I don't know, and I don't care either. If I must die, better to die in the quest than to live a coward. The old man thought to himself, if I let him go, I shall never get in touch with my son. Listen, Abu, he said, the best thing is this. Take Tosei's brother back to Zonade Shirinka. Then you can come back to continue your journey. No, my father, I am going forward. I shall always go forward, never backward. The old man burst into tears. At that, Abu took up the charm and bade him goodbye. I have always been a wanderer I shall remain, said Abu Bakr to himself. Abu set out on his journey. He had not gone very far when the old man called him back and apologized. Forgive me, Abu. Abu, think of what it is not to see your son for nearly 30 years. Do not go away like this. Tomorrow will be a better day. For then, you can have Tosai's brother to guide you. The next day, he gave Abu 5 pounds and a horse. These are for your food and your travel. This God must use for storing the sap, for it must never be touched by the bare hands. My son will go with you part of the way on horseback. Goodbye. The son led him for a few miles till he came to the parting of the ways. Go ahead. You simply cannot miss your way. If you are in doubt, ask anyone you meet. Where is Kurmin Rukuki? Abu thanked him and they parted. Chapter 8 now, and this chapter is titled or named The One-Eared Thief. Abu rode on till the sweat was gumming his clothes to his body. In the full heat of the afternoon, he stopped near the stream and ate some food. Then he led his horse downstream, watered her, took off his clothes, and entered the water and bathed himself. The water was cool and refreshing. He splashed it carelessly and filled his treasured gourd with it. Presently, he heard a hostile shout, "Hey, hey!" And when he turned around, 2 evil-looking men stood before him. "What do you want?" he stammered. "How did you get into this forest?" One of the men snarled, "What are you doing?" "I was hot and tired, and and I wanted to bath. Come out, you fool. The man jumped in and dragging Abu out, beat him, beat him severely. When he was almost senseless, both men left, taking with them his horse and his money. They walked away, but suddenly turned and come back, as they say, to leave a mark on his body. You seem very happy here, said one of them. When they got back, you are not even afraid of us. Don't you know that we are the most dreaded rocks of this area? Abu said, you have taken my money and my horse. What more do you want of me? This, said the man, and snapped forward. He cut off Abu's left ear. Then they left him. Still Abu pressed forward. Late in the evening, and he met a number of men driving donkeys. He called out to them, and the man turned round and started to shout, thief, thief, I'm not a thief, he pleaded. How can I be a thief? Then who are you? Abu told them how two men had robbed him of his money and cut off his left ear. He ended by begging them to take him into their company, since he was afraid to continue his journey alone. They agreed and put him on a donkey as a sign that he had been admitted into their brotherhood. They served him with food and water. People never travel alone in these parts, they told him. They travel in tens and dozens. When they got to the market, Abu helped the merchant to sell their things. He sat in the stall until far into the night. When the gathering dispersed, the donkey men thanked him for his service and left. Abu was at a loss where to spend the night. He wandered from door to door, asking for shelter, but his cut ear was against him, and everybody who saw him thought he had lost it in a burglary. They called him a thief and shouted their doors in his face. He had no alternative but to go to the marketplace and sleep there. At about midnight, he had shouts of thief, thief. The alarm seemed to be coming from the center of the town. But as he got shakily to his feet, he realized that the voices were coming nearer and nearer. What was he to do? He could not run away. Men to suspect, because the men would suspect him. He did not dare rush towards them. Abu stood there, still half asleep, half confused. Men rushed into the marketplace. In a flash, the thief raced past him, and hot on their heels came the pursuer. This is the man! This is the man! Catch him! They seized the protesting Abu, and nothing he said or did could make them. Lights were shone on his face, and as soon as the men saw his ear, they exclaimed, "Look at his left ear! They cut it off when he went to steal." Not so yesterday, and I had nowhere to stay. They led him to the house of the king and charged him with stealing. They detained Aba they denied Aba having stolen, sorry, he denied Aba having stolen anything in his life and started to explain how a company of traders had brought him there, but no one would listen to him. Have you or have you not stolen the missing things? I have not. If you are an honest man, why did you not report yourself to the king as soon as you arrived? What stopped your mouth? Abu could answer nothing to this question, and they sentenced him to 3 months imprisonment. The people whom Abu met in prison were very boastful. Every day, when ever they went to work under guards, they would recount how they had raided rich men, how they had swindled unsuspecting people, and what they hoped to do when they got back their freedom. Abu never said a word, no join in their conversation. The warder was surprised at this. He asked Abu whether he had any bits of daring to recount. And Abu maintained time and time again that he was not a thief, that he had been sentenced to jail for a crime he had not committed. The warder sympathized with him, but
I don't know what happened to the other person, that's the second teacher, Ahmad Garba Inua. But let me give some words. Eared thief, the title of the chapter, meaning thief is somebody whose act is stealing. Somebody who is stealing is thief. The Hausa Barau. Brotherhood. The word brotherhood comes in the story, whereby they said they take him into their company and he became in their brotherhood. So a brotherhood is an organization formed for a particular reason or particular purpose. This is what is brotherhood. But the actual meaning we know in our everyday English is that brotherhood is the friendship and relationship that you have between your family. This is brotherhood. Again, we have burglary. Burglary, this is the crime of entering a building and stealing from the building and stealing from it. This is what is called burglary. Then we have sympathetic. Sympathetic is to have pity on someone. Again, we have pointed nose. Pointed nose is somebody who has a long nose. Then we have the word fictitious, which comes from the story. Fictitious is when something is not real, is created by someone. It's called fictitious. Wato wanda aka kirkira. We have magic, those that do anything extraordinarily. So the second teacher now is back. Let us see whether he will be live with you. Okay, let me continue until he is alive. Then, by the time he was taken to the king, then he denied the claim on his activity, on his travel. Abu denied. The word denied is to refuse what someone is saying on yourself, on you. Then stream. Stream is a big water whereby the stream is moving. No, in Hausa we call it korama. It's stream. Then wanderer. Let me check what happened to the other teacher. Then we will come back and continue. Excuse me, please.
Wait.
What happened?
What? So I am in difficulty. I'm in difficulty, he stated. I have not a penny in the world. Will you accept me as your servant, so that in few months I can see that Allah has in store for me? The warder, in spite of friends warning him, received Abu with joy and gave him a chance to reinstate himself. While his friends kept on pestering him to remove Abu, asserting all the time that Abu was a thief and that he was unthinkable that a warder would harbor a thief in his own household. The warder's belief in Abu was not shaken. He tested Abu's honesty by giving him money to buy and sell things. Abu not only sold the goods, but brought back more profit than the warders had ever dreamed of. After a month, Abu, of his own initiative, added to his duties that of every penny had made. He showed his master to avoid any form of suspicion. He kept this money on one side day after until he was quite sure he had saved 20 shillings. That night he called his master aside and said, "You have been very kind to me all this time. Do you not think that I was ignorant of your friends' advice to you? I thank you all for your help. Here is my plan. When I was in jail, I told you how a certain Malam Shehu had deprived me of my wife, and how I am on a mission of vengeance. The time has come for me to continue my journey. My dear Abu Bakr," said the warder, "I thought you had forgotten all about that. You are quite happy here. Why do you need to worry yourself? You are not the only man who has ever been deprived of his betrothed. If you remain here with me, I can give you enough money and happiness to last you until the end of your life. Leave vengeance to Allah." "No," said Abu, "I cannot go back on my plans now. I have lost an ear. I have served 3 months sentence. I have been robbed. It is too late to go back." The warder was deeply regretful. It has to be then, he sighed. "Prepare and give 3 days so that I too may get certain things ready for you." "How much money have you saved?" 20 shillings by my reckoning." "It is so." When 3 days had passed, the man brought out the 20 shillings that Abu had made as a porter and gave it to him. He added to his another 60 shillings, making a total of 80 shillings, gave him a horse, and led him forth himself. Some of the way, asked for kurmerikuki, he said, "You will never miss your way. I see you have not forgotten that God you seem to value so highly." They shook hands in the Muslim fashion, holding their hands for a long intervals and spitting their breasts. "Allah bless you," my heart aches. I fear very much that you may never return. Abu wheeled his horse and sent it away. So that is the end of chapter 7. This is how far we can take and how much. This is how far we can go and how much we can take this very morning. So it's now over to Malam Ahmad, and then tell us the meaning of some of the words that we may find new or strange.
Got to unmute.
All right, I can hear you now.
Are we together?
Of course, yes.
We have the word wanderer.
Yes.
Wanderer is a person whose activity is traveling from one place to another.
Yes, that's correct. Absolutely correct.
Again, we have sap. Sap,
Yes.
S-A-P.
Yes.
Sap is the kind of that liquid that come out from a tree.
Yes.
Which is called by Almajrais Karu.
Yes.
They use it in their ink.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Then we have the word sentenced.
Yes.
Where Abu was sentenced to imprisonment.
Yes, 3 months imprisonment.
So this sentence is to send somebody into prison for wrong he has done.
Yes.
We have the word honesty.
Yes.
Honesty, let me call this directly in Hausa, but I don't know whether you can add something. Honesty is amana.
Yes, yes.
To test the honesty of Abu, meaning to test how he's going to handle what is in his hand.
Yes.
Then we have suspicious.
Yes.
Suspicious is to suspect somebody whether he has done something bad or not. Again, there is Ekis.
Yes.
A-C-H-E-S.
Yes.
The word ek, meaning da yake maka ciwo a rai.
Yes.
Is ek.
Yes. No, I don't think if I will. Yes, because I don't think if I have to, because you have done so much.
I think this is the end of the story. Do you have somebody to? Do you have something to say?
I know, like I don't really have anything to add. Yes, I just think we should just stop here.
Okay, so we are continuing on chapter 9,
All right, yes.
the coming week. Okay, it's always nice to have you in the lesson, sir.
Yes, it's always nice to have you. Very, very nice.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye for now. See you next time.
Hello.